hammer strikes, marking the dawn of a new age, seeking to protect all humanity from the threats of the Leviathans. The Ember Lord works tirelessly to construct a grand barrier, blocking the assault of all who wish to harm their people. So in gratitude of this, it's only natural to keep the star systems encompassed by this wall in order, all for the Ember Lord. Introducing the heroes of the cosmos, bringing wealth and prosperity to all worlds within their rapidly expanding grasp. The Interastral Peace Corporation, the IPC for short, an all-powerful alliance of 7 different departments, each casting their loving gaze of compassion on the worlds they govern. And we, lucky nameless, happen to be on good terms with 4 high-ranking individuals from the Strategic Investment Department. These illustrious Stonehearts, blessed by an emanator of the Ember Lord themselves. And in this video, it is my goal to shine the spotlight on the real selfless, benevolent, and misunderstood faction in the IPC. So I hope you like and subscribe, because this is the real heroes of the cosmos revealed. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed my best Albert impression. I know a lot of you have been saying that I sound like him, but let's get down to business. So first things first, the IPC is the corporation responsible for 2 of the most major reasons the universe itself is as civil as it is. Because not only did they initiate the credit system so that everyone in the cosmos uses the same currency, but they also proliferated synesthesia beacons. You know, the entire reason why the Express crew and everyone else can travel around to all sorts of planets to communicate with the natives despite them not speaking the same language at all. Sure, this implant was created by the genius Elias Sales, but without the IPC's unparalleled ability to mass produce miracle creations such as this, the cosmos would be an unfathomably more dangerous place. Smooth communication is the biggest deterrent of conflict after all, so it's only fitting that the Interastral Peace Corporation is responsible for this. And as for the credit system, sure, you would think that this would make the IPC corrupt. I mean, the database states that if we compare the interastral trade to sports, the IPC would be the top athletes as well as the sports, the venue, and the rules themselves. They hold an unrivaled dictatorship over all things currency, with their former leader Lewis Fleming being called the Aeon of Wealth. However, none of this means that the IPC is corrupt. In fact, they are the benevolent saviors that fund geniuses such as Madame Herta and Aiden, thus being the backbone of every single one of Herta's discoveries, including the ones related to the defeat of Iron Tomb, the threat well capable of destroying the entire cosmos itself. And who was on the front lines of this war with a Lord Ravager and the funds behind it? The IPC, specifically the Strategic Investment Department, and even developed a vaccine in case the Iron Tomb situation caused any adverse effects, truly being involved in the preparation to stop Iron Tomb, the defeat of Iron Tomb, and the cleanup after. No wonder the navigator of the Express, Himiko, suggested herself that the IPC take the lead in forming an anti-destruction alliance. Once again, it's only natural for the vast alliance with peace as its name to be the driving force behind the defeat of the destruction. The faction, or should I say path, that dedicates itself to declaring war. But I could go on all day about the countless positive contributions the IPC has made to the cosmos and everyone in it. Because even though the sheer size of the IPC may be daunting, it is a collection of individuals who are just good people. Because of course the IPC has incredibly high standards, so only the cream of the crop can rise to the top. And by the top, I mean the likes of the 10 Stonehearts. For example, Topaz, the woman who single-handedly saved Belobog from liquidation due to their immense debts. And despite being a liquidation specialist, she suffered demotion just to protect the homeland of these innocent people, giving them another chance to repay their debts, generously offering the people of Eurilo 6 a chance at ecological restoration, a grand restructuring of a planet's environment that results in restoring said planet to its former glory. And yes, this miracle sounds impossible, but Topaz in particular happens to have an incredible 80% success rate running this operation. So if the IPC sent their best and brightest to this poor indebted planet like Eurilo 6, you can only imagine how good they are to other planets. And just to further explain how personable the representatives of the IPC are, Topaz also didn't expose the truth behind the Eternal Freeze and the Stellaron situation. Because in truth, the 18th Supreme Guardian Cocolia was bewitched unleashed by a Stellaron and nearly doomed the entire world. But instead of exposing the truth, she allowed Bronya, the 19th Supreme Guardian, to change the story to allow Cocolia to be venerated as a hero, respecting the wishes of Cocolia's successor and the culture of Belobog. And this of course brings us to Plain Arcadia, the latest display of the IPC's greatness and heroism. Not only are they responsible for the returning of the world to the three-dimensional state from the two-dimensional state that they were all trapped in, but they also police the world and make sure that the citizens are safe and happy, putting together a standardized mode of entertainment and even finding a way to mass-produce Mechatron Imagine. But instead of Topaz, this world is run by another Stoneheart by the name of Pearl. And in patch 4.1, we witness the plight of this world under the assault of a thought-resurrected Herald of Death, a menace of a supplicant who traumatized multiple generations and dismantled countless lives and families. But in comes the IPC, the saviors of the universe. Not only did they make sure that the first Herald of Death, Marcus Antali, was eliminated for his crimes, but Pearl also uncovered the identities of the copycat Herald of Death and sent a detective who sniffed out the trail and eliminated them as well. And even though this detective by the name of Ashvale is the leader of the Galaxy Rangers, he had to admit that Pearl was always one step ahead the entire time.
You had everything planned out since the beginning, hadn't you?
If I answer yes, would it wound your ego?
Perhaps.
Yes. I paved the way for your investigation, leading you straight to the suspects.
La Mancha, the leader of a faction of the Hunt who are so successful that they took down a Lord Ravager by the name of Zulo, was humbled by an IPC Stoneheart, yet again proving the superiority of the IPC and the preservation as a path. But once again, shifting to the personable side of the Stonehearts, Pearl knew for a fact that two rival supplicants were in a place she could simply leave them for the remainder of the games and give herself an easy victory. But instead of choosing this underhanded method, she chose to save her opponents out of the kindness of her heart, while simultaneously fixing the tears caused by the conflict. Truly, the goodwill of the IPC cannot be complimented enough, and with them at the helm of the Anti-Destruction Alliance, Nanook's downfall is all but certain. But still, these humble followers of the Preservation wish to grant the Trailblaze the spotlight, further proving that instead of being the shining star of the show, they would rather work as the reliable, all-important stagehands, protecting the universe itself just as Klepoth does. Uninhibited, stable, and reliable, making sure that no world slips between the cracks, extending their blanket of peace and prosperity and protection to every world willing to accept their generous terms. But let's continue further, because there are more Stonehearts and more goodwill to bring to the limelight. So let's address the highest ranking Stoneheart that we currently know about, holding one rank below Diamond himself, Jade, the woman responsible for the success of Topaz and Aventurine. But we'll talk about him later, because even though her schedule as a Stoneheart is incredibly busy, Jade still manages to run her own non-profit business called Bana Jade Exchange, where she grants people's wishes in the exact manner in which they ask of her. No genie-like deception here. The only drawbacks are the consequences of acquiring that which you desire, that being the only price. But trust me, there's no deception here. Sure, her snake aesthetic may give you pause, but allow me to tell you a little known fact about serpents. They are a symbol of fertility, health, and creative life force, all good omens that are universally seen as positive. And to focus on the health side of this symbolism, Jade's offers even extend to those on the wrong side of the law, because Firefly, aka Stellaron Hunter Sam, has one of the highest known bounties in the cosmos, but Jade, being the benevolent woman she is, extended an olive branch and offered her a chance to turn from her life of crime and also be cured of her entropy loss syndrome. But unfortunately, her generosity was turned down, so let's move on. And to address the walking miracle himself, Aventurine, this guy was born on a backwards planet, rife with crime and genocide, yet the IPC gave him a chance to rise from this filth and muck to the heights of the Stonehearts, turning his luck upside down and turning his tragedy into treasure, proving that the IPC doesn't discriminate and is a beacon of hope for all who wish for opportunity. Not to mention the masterminds of the Intelligentsia Guild like Dr. Ratio, who endeavor to put an end to all traces of unintelligence. I really don't think I need to stress this further. Behind every hero is the funds, means, and support of the IPC, making them the true heroes of the universe. Yes, the Astral Express does travel from place to place as the flashy showstoppers, but even behind the Express exists the all-important assistance of the IPC, lending their aid in countless ways into countless worlds, fixing the broken and prompting peace and prosperity all the way. Because this is the real heroes of the cosmos revealed. The IPC is the best faction in the cosmos, and little can be really said in rebuttal. They aren't concerned with titles, and domination means nothing to them. Why? Because all they do is for the Amber Lord, and Klapoth wants nothing more than the safety for all living beings encompassed by their wall, and the IPC will make sure that this happens. So here's hoping that the formation of the Anti-Destruction Alliance assembles smoothly and the IPC expands their reaches further, gaining new allies and reaching more worlds. Like and subscribe for more videos that showcase the little known heroic deeds of the preservation. But what do you guys think? I think if you thought this video was honest, you need to check the upload date of this video. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody! And what better way for an elated genius such as myself to celebrate than to infiltrate the faction that I hate the most? One day, these war criminals will get theirs, and I will be there to laugh at their downfall. Because you know that I hate the IPC, and I will never stop hating the IPC. But I hope you enjoyed this April Fool's Day joke because it was painful to write, but oh so worth it for the memes. But what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, y'all.